Hey guys, welcome to another one of my Fantastico video tutorials. This one's on what should be going into a film review. I'm trying this out on my brand new tablet, so if we have any dramas, you can blame me, but it's probably not worth your time. Anyway, what goes into a good film review? Should contain most, if not all, of the following things. It should contain an introduction. Alright, introduction, not in terms of your classic tier essay, but basically tell me what's the title of your film? Brief explanation of what the film's about. Kind of what genre are we looking at, or style of film? What did it feel like watching the film? And then kind of give me a sense of where you're going with this. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it going to improve as we go along? What's going on? Now give me a brief summary of the plot is your next step. Number 2. Usually this will follow straight after your introduction, but it doesn't necessarily, because it can be interchanged with number 3 here. I'm not going to get too upset. You could even match up the two. So, brief plot synopsis just tells me kind of what's the key stuff happening. Don't give me a full story retell of and then this happened, and then that happened, and then that happened. Just tell me the central action of a film. For example, the central action of Fast and Furious 5 is that the crew get hired to do a job that they can't afford not to do, and so they get the whole gang back together to do it, and fun ensues. That's it. It's that simple. Very brief. Now, describing our characters and commenting on the action can be paired up with that summary to turn it into a stronger, chunkier paragraph. Alright, this is not necessarily a checklist saying that a good review has 9 paragraphs. You've got to work out where you can match these together, and this is one you can do. Talk about who the main characters are, their relationships. Communicate to me what are these characters like. Talk about the outstanding performances you felt. For example, do you feel like Jim, who was played by Paul Kelly, was that acted out really well by Paul Kelly? Could you feel it? Do you think he engaged with the character? Whatever. Next step, number 4, commentary on the screenplay. Alright, 2 types of screenplays, an adaptation of a literary work or an original screenplay. Now in this case, I'm pretty sure we're looking at an original screenplay, but you might want to check that out. Listen to the dialogue here. Talk about, is it establishing character? Is the author using characters as a mouthpiece? Consider the structure, themes, and humour sometimes. Now this bit here, I don't know how I feel about that. But definitely talking about structure and theme is a good idea. Again, this one could be taken up and interspersed in your summary. Excuse me. Moving on. Photography, art direction, and music. Considering the nature of this film, these are big parts of it. Alright, now, do we talk about it as a separate paragraph? Possibly, but then you want to talk about how it relates to the themes, your personal response. Okay? And you want to use your knowledge of photography, art direction, and music in terms of insightful descriptions of what you believe is a key scene. Direction, I think, is extremely related to photography, art direction, and music. Alright? As in, the director's chosen this. Now, the way this is looked at is completely different. Alright, it cuts that link. Talks about director being responsible for aspects of the film. Talking about whether the director has been successful. I think that's a load of crap. Plain and simple. Right, you want to talk about your own personal response to the themes and issues using an insightful description of one scene, right? One scene. I only want one. I don't want retells. Oh, geez. Alright, remember, this is the point. You're just doing it in review format here. The key things that you need to remember are to make it all flow. That's why I'm saying don't treat this as a checklist that you should have 9 body paragraphs. Alright, if you link up 5 and 9 while talking about these 3 things after you've put all of these 3 together here, then I think you're in line for a pretty good response, or should be. Now, the bulk of your essay writing wants to be dedicated to this bit here, all these bits, talking about your interpretation. All right, this part up here that I'm showing you now just shows me that you know what happened. Basically, demonstrates your knowledge. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. If any questions, you know how to email me or talk to me in person. Have a great week.